and he's the writer, and he's got books to buy. Go buy it.
Yeah. I started progress on my newest book.
Yeah.
Um, well, I just haven't been working on it for the last few weeks, and I'm trying to get. I'm almost to like a pivotal, like essentially the end of maybe Act Two, I guess you could say.
Really?
Um, yeah, this book is taking me so much longer to write because I just have less time to write. I was way off. I thought, okay, maybe I can get this punched out in like a year. It's taking me way too fucking long. But that's also, taking lots of breaks and stuff because of work and life and shit like that. Um, I also thought of this um, new way to make it more interesting for me, at least. The whole story was going to be about this girl and like her sort of coming of age story.
Yeah,
But I
you're
decided,
going over that.
yeah,
I,
I
I
decided
remember that.
to just to make it more interesting for me. Uh, I'm gonna have this book start off with a tie, like in the future,
Yeah,
and
I thought you
she,
mentioned that when you're writing. I think you were on chapter 3 or 4, like 6, 7 months ago or something like that. You were streaming it, and I was asking questions about it.
no, this revelation of the time skip, um, starting, like that came to me like a couple months ago. So,
Then what you were talking about her traveling to different planets and different timelines and like never being able to return home.
well, timelines never really came into that factor. She travels to different dimensions.
That's what it was. Dimensions.
Yeah, and there's essentially infinite amount of, they call them realms,
Yep.
and finding your home, the place you came from, is nearly impossible, statistically.
Makes
Um,
sense.
because when somebody like their abilities sort of trigger in their home world, and it causes like um, a rift in the nexus, and then the person gets pulled into the nexus and anyone around them, and so if anybody's in the nexus for more than like a few seconds, they get full of nexium, and then once they're full of nexium, they just become one with the nexus. But a drifter who
I'm sorry. I was trying not to laugh because I was like, that sounds like an innuendo.
oh, does it? An innuendo for what?
She's getting filled with Nexus.
Nexium.
Nexium.
She's gushing nexium. She's gagging for it.
That's
But okay,
wow.
but
That's
when
just
when
wow.
when a drifter is full of nexium, it triggers their ability and turns them into a drifter, and then from like they're the only one of the only few things in all of existence that can freely travel through the nexus. But they can't do it for very long. They eventually could like die if they do it for too long. But you're and then any at the point any drifter enters a new realm, they absorb that realm's nexium, kind of like maybe like a planeswalker, like with the power of that plane.
That makes sense.
But
So, is
except
there
like
any next realms without Nexium, or does every realm automatically have Nexium?
every well it's so I don't want because there's a whole nother book, a whole nother series that kind of ties into this one.
Okay.
All of my books technically tie into each other.
So they're all going to be on the same timeline and the same
No,
universe.
not necessarily the same timeline, because Fate Reforged, which is like my Final Fantasy inspired Game of Thrones type epic, uh it might be my magnum opus. It's going to be this grand epic, but it takes place maybe like I I, I want to say like 20,000 years. Yeah, 20,000 years after my current book, and it takes place
Okay.
on a totally different planet. Possibly even a totally different realm. I haven't decided.
You know, it'd be kind of interesting to see like little hints of like Eli's story, just like randomly in the background a little bit, like something familiar.
Maybe. So in Fate Reforged,
Easter
I
eggs.
am going to put I am going to put a Mies like species in it. They're
Oh,
gonna be. It's
like a
gonna be a
future
callback.
species.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be. It's gonna be a like cameo of sorts to the Mies, except they have fairy wings and they can fly.
So it's like an evolutionary form of what they were.
Kind
It's
of,
just an
yeah.
evolved
It's just on a different
species.
planet. It's supposed to be like a fun callback to Oregonia.
I like
But
that. It's
but
always
so,
nice
like
to place Easter eggs.
yeah. What was it? So like yeah, Fate Reforged. So in my book I'm working on now, which I think I'm going to call the Silent Drifter. Um, so a
We were
drifter
workshopping names for like a solid hour that one day.
for the podcast.
No, when we were on your stream, we was just like trying to figure out a damn title to the book.
I vaguely remember that stream. I don't work on my book on Twitch as much as I used to. I kind of have like I kind of know what I'm doing on Twitch more. Like I have a good solid idea of what I'm doing, and I
It,
focus on games. Kingdom Hearts 3 has been getting me a lot of attention. I'm kind
it
of
should, because the new games are coming out, aren't they? The new
well, it's
release or
just
whatever.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is the newest one that really matters. Like Melody of Memory is meh.
Yeah.
But like Kingdom Hearts 3 is so good. But as I was saying, I keep getting distracted because this is important to the book. When a drifter drifts to a new realm and absorbs that realm's Nexium, they can return to that realm with ease just by thinking about it.
Okay.
But
So
okay, maybe you picked up on it. What were you gonna say?
So my question's this: so the realm you come from,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't have absorbed it because
Mm-hmm.
you left it. That's why it's hard for them to get.
That's
back.
why like almost no drifter
Okay.
ever makes it home.
Because they
Some of them,
literally didn't absorb the Nexium from their own realm, because you have to leave a realm to absorb a realm.
you don't become a drifter until you've entered the Nexus.
So literally leaving your realm into the Nexus is how you get Nexium into the next realm. But the thing is when you leave, the first time you leave, you don't get anything. So
it's like it's like a tragic irony.
I kind of like that, because that makes it like, that literally makes it like right at the beginning, if that's established in your book, that they won't return home. Like it literally is established, and that's actually kind of nice. That gives you like an adventure that can continue as well. Like you can literally book after book after book and story after story.
I only really plan on making one book of this series, but I do have some ideas of how I can incorporate drifters and the main character Lucina into
spin-offs,
other books.
So
like
spin-off books.
Yeah.
Well, you could just do like a drifter series where it's different people drifting and their own little like individual stories.
Oh fuck, I didn't even think about that. That's cool. I like Lucina because I mean she's, I don't know, like my baby, I guess.
She's your first drifter. Yeah, she's the baby drifter. And then you could have like some other drifter that's like just a total fucking like Leonidas badass motherfucker and have his own tragic backstory or something.
The cool thing about this is like I can like make up any badass character with any badass origin, any badass, because I've literally written it so I could kind of do whatever the fuck I want. The Nexus is just your catch-all. But
I'm just waiting for Sasuke to appear and be like, where the fuck did you come from?
Oh, it's funny you mentioned Sasuke, because I was just going to say one of the reasons I like Lucina is because she's mute and
fucking edgelord.
But I'm just talking Naruto and hand signs in Naruto. Yeah. She uses
you mentioned this.
She uses like an abbreviated version of ASL, because when a drifters
you have to speak.
They essentially it's in their mind,
but if you're not for it,
only incredibly skilled drifters, masters, can connect to the Nexus with can call out to the Nexus with their mind.
So because
most drifters have to say the incantation. So she uses like hand signs, which is like a disadvantage because it's something she has to learn that like nobody really knows. Very few people know how to teach.
You could totally like,
and she's got an advantage.
You could totally spin it off to be like, this is Naruto, but it's not Naruto, but she's Kaguya secretly.
She's it's Naruto, Harry Potter, Magic the Gathering kind of wrapped up in one.
That's great.
Yeah.
I Chloe in the background. Anyone want else fuck Kaguya, or is it just me?
Kaguya, she's the chick with the white skin. She's
Yeah,
the like
she's the
rabbit
mother
one,
of
right?
ninjutsu. She's the mother of ninjutsu.
Um, I mean, yeah, she's like she's like a god who wouldn't want to tap that.